Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys checking today's video out. And today, guys, I'm going to share with you a plethora of stories I heard from Lake of the Ozarks last week regarding Livescope. You know, I was up there for the Toyota Series tournament all week. And excuse me if I start coughing, I've got a cold or some allergies or something right now. Sort of a scratchy throat a little bit. But I think, anyway, I think you guys are going to find this interesting, some things I heard there at the tournament and witnessed myself. So before we get started, guys, just a quick reminder again about our fall lake map breakdowns with Fish the Moment. You guys hear me talking about this quite a bit, but we're in the middle of fall. And if you're struggling to catch some fish in the fall time of the year or any time of year at all, this is a great resource to learn more about your favorite lakes. So I'll put the link in the description where you guys can order one of those breakdowns if you're interested. Okay, guys, here's some stuff that sort of came to my mind in this particular tournament here. Now, I knew this was going to be a big live scoping tournament because, well, every tournament is anymore, but it has been at Lake of the Ozarks the last couple of weeks. In fact, I just did a podcast a couple days ago with one of the anglers that fished that Bass Open up there, and he even admitted on the podcast that he can't compete without live scope. I mean, so it's gotten to sort of that point in the evolution of the sport. But some of the things that I noticed here, first of all, when I was walking down the docks to weigh in the afternoon, prior to this tournament here, I noticed last year that most people had two units up front. They had a live scope unit, or, you know, whatever the mix was GPS mapping, whatever. But the majority of the people had two units up front, two units on the console. I noticed this particular tournament how many more people had three units up front and two on the console, a live scope up front, and then some type of mapping, down imaging, side imaging, but three units stacked on there. Some of the guys had these big Mongo units. It looked like this. They look like a damn 20-inch screen on there. I've never seen anything like it. It looked like, you know, some of those memes you guys see that, you know, make fun of live scopers with they got like a big flat screen TV up on the front of their boat. That's sort of what it looked like. But I got noticing this, you know, about how many boats up there had three units on the boat, which was sort of disturbing. And a couple different things that came to mind with me. My first day co-angler I fished with, super cool guy. I just love fishing with him. But anyway, he made a comment after the end of the day fishing with me. He goes, "Man, it was really nice to go fishing with somebody that wasn't live scoping. It's been a long time." And I finished 54th in the tournament out of 170. No, I'm not happy with 54th, but I did beat over 70% of the anglers not live scoping. So you can do it. But anyway, he had a good time just enjoying fishing with me with no live scope. Another co-angler that I was talking to up there said that he was practicing with one of the pros up there. At about 9:30 in the morning, his live scope quit working. He said the dude took his boat out of the water in a practice day, official practice day, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm not going to waste time out here fishing without live scope." This guy was so addicted to live scope, which most of them are, most of the guys out there anymore are, that he didn't even know how to catch a damn fish without live scope. So he took his boat out of the water trying to get his live scope fixed because he had no clue how to catch a bass without live scope. Is that pathetic or what? I mean, if you admit that you cannot compete or catch a fish without video game, you need to seriously reevaluate your entire concept or perception about what bass fishing is. That was another thing out there. And then I heard a bunch of co-anglers, and I even heard some pros talking. It's like, well, I felt really bad because basically I was just screwing my partner all day live scope, and they were just thrown out into nothing, and I was catching all the fish. I heard that over and over again. And it's just the typical thing going on and on. And it's like, as we see this technology becoming, it's constantly becoming more of a part of fishing out there, it poses a question like, it's where is it going to end? One of the guys I fished with over there, he was telling me a story about a Kentucky lake where this one guy was live scoping bedding fish on Kentucky Lake. It's like you can't. It's like we used to think that live scoping was relegated to like off deeper water offshore fishing. and they're live scoping bedding bass now. It's like it's completely taken over a segment of this, a large segment of the entire consciousness of fishing. But anyway, I knew it was coming out there. And I knew Lake of the Ozarks was going to be no different. None of them been out there. But one of the things that really restored my faith in mankind is I had so many people in that tournament, guys, this week up there. I mean, I lost count literally of how many people, excuse me, that came up to me when I was launching my boat in the dark in the morning, or when I was weighing my fish in, or when we were waiting to take off, or when I was in the bag line, or when I was on the dock getting my fish in, and said, Randy, I really appreciate the videos. I'm totally with you on Livescope. It has no place in fishing. Guys, I should have recorded how many people came up to me and said that. And every time that I heard that, or somebody came up to me, it just made my heart feel really good. And there was one guy up there that said, I can't even remember his name, but he was a competitor in Oklahoma. And he was saying that one of the top competitors down there is so sick of Livescope that he went the other direction, and he's got 2 flashers on his boat, and that's it, and still does good in tournaments. So I love hearing stories like that. But anyway, once again, Lake of the Ozarks dominated by Livescope like it has been the last 3 weeks over there. Like I said, it just never stops. I guess it's just never going to stop until, you know, something comes out there where, you know, you just go out on the lake and say, how big a bag do you want to catch? Do you want to catch a 10-pound bag? Do you want to catch a 20-pound bag? Do you want to catch a 15-pound bag? Go here, throw this, throw right there. You're going to catch one every cast, and then you can go home. I mean, I don't know where it's going to end, but it's not on a good path right now. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope everybody's doing good. And also, in this afternoon's video, guys, I'm going to show everybody I know there's a big bass bash up at Lake of the Ozarks this week, and I caught a 7-pound 3-ounce bass the day before the tournament. And I'm going to show you the exact bait and show you guys and explain to you how I caught it, so maybe it'll help somebody win 100,000 up there on Livescope and in that big bass bash next week. So we'll talk later.